All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank you all so much for coming over. I got this video here from Will Tennyson. Hopefully I'm saying that name right. It says, I investigated the country where it's illegal to be fat. The original video will be in the description for you guys to check out more and even subscribe. I know this is going to be wild and crazy. Hopefully everything goes smoothly with this. This is my first time checking his channel out. So we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Don't be fat, don't be ugly, don't be poor.
I'm sure you know, it's like the plastic surgery capital.
Do you think an overweight foreigner coming to visit Korea would have a negative experience?
Wait, he just said it was the plastic surgery capital. And y'all know I got that video of people getting those surgeries that end up giving them bubble face or something. Oh, this is gonna be wild.
Sadly, I've heard that a lot.
South Korea, the world's beauty capital, where being fat isn't just frowned upon, you're openly shamed.
Shop owners will clearly say to you like, oh, yeah, there's no clothes for you.
In a country where appearance can feel like currency, the pressure to be thin is everywhere. On billboards, subway floors, and storefront windows, a constant reminder to change and be better, creating a standard so intense it's driving a surge in weight loss drugs, extreme dieting, and potentially something much worse.
Okay, so I have to get to 75 kilograms?
I'm here to find out just how bad it really is.
Welcome to South Korea, everybody. Before we get started with the day, I want to see what level of freak show the locals are going to see me as. So behind me, there's a fat test that are in all the parks in Korea. They really just said, let's gamify emotional damage. So whatever I get here is going to dictate how I feel about myself today and probably how I eat. So according to Google Translate, this first one here is...
Wait, he said in parks? I'm wondering if this is for kids. Because if he in the park, because if they saying it's illegal out there, they probably start start these kids off really young. Yo, that's why I wonder if he's gonna reveal that. That's wild.
Says you're an alien ... I mean, I'd rather be called an alien than a fat ass. So I guess if I can't fit through this, I'm not considered human. That was very close. I think this is changing the breakfast plans very quickly. No. Crazy to think that I'm considered chubby in Korea, because I like to think that I'm in pretty good shape. So after chubby, here we have average, which I would never be so grateful to be called mid in my entire life. I'd love to be average. And then we have thin, and then here says skinny, and it looks like they've removed actually one of the poles here, because maybe like it was probably too extreme. Like I don't even think a 90-day fast and a caved-in rib cage I could fit through that, because like thin, barely my quad goes through that. And the crazy thing about all of this is that this is literally in the middle of a children's park, and they're probably gonna see this as a game, and you want to beat the game. So I just go to this, and if I can't fit through it, I'm gonna do whatever.
Wait. Okay. I know who this dude is now. I seen him on Diamond Gym. So he's actually like super fit. Like he works out. But dang, so he's considered chubby out there. Yeah, so at a kid's park, you're trying to play this game, but if you can't fit through it all, boy.
It takes to be able to fit through it eventually. So I think it just causes a lot of issues. Korea has a zero-calorie and zero-sugar obsession, and because of that, there's tons of different spots that cater towards that. So if I want to be able to fit through that tree a little later on, there's certain things that we have to do. So the first spot that we're checking out is the Zero store. So 0 calories and 0 employees. This is just kind of like a serve yourself kind of place. This is pretty sick. I just feel like I found a loophole in my fitness journey. No way. They have 0-calorie ice cream? That's sick packaging, like 0 cal. 0 sugar. They have 0-calorie peanut butter, which sounds like I'd rather have a nut allergy than taste that. And a bunch of high protein foods here. This is sick. Wow. I've never seen a Coke Zero tall boy. Oh, I have to get that. That's so sick. I wonder if they have 0-calorie pizza. Just like cardboard that has a tomato scent. 43 gram protein in that? That's a hefty boy. I swear, I think this must be what heaven looks like.
There was so many different options of 0-calorie, zero-sugar snacks to choose from, especially jelly, which is often seen as Korean Ozempic, providing you with something to fill your stomach with little to no calories at all.
All this unsupervised protein is pretty incredible. Koreans must be trustworthy. All right, so we got a few things from the Zero store. We got to start off with the 0-calorie ice cream. I don't like.
Can you imagine a store like, well, I don't know if they have a store like that out here, but you just go in there, grab what you need, and scan it yourself. But I know out there, if you commit a crime, ooh-wee, especially if you're traveling, oh, forget about it. You're in trouble.
What is this? Is this supposed to be like great white shark flavor? Like, it doesn't really tell me anything, and I can't really understand the back of it, but it's pretty in your face about being 0 calories, so you really can't forget it. All right, so visually, shark-like, as in gray and ominous. It looks like meat that's been left in the freezer for like a month. It smells actually fire, though. Wow, what? Not as offensive as I thought it was gonna be. That's actually quite good. There was a lot of flavor going on. I thought it was gonna be very neutral. It's very fruit punchy. Oh. When you bite it, it doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't taste like anything, really. Just the outside's very fruity. Inside's nice and like red like that. But if I was on a diet to keep my mouth out of trouble, very good. We're gonna be trying the infamous cutting jelly, as in the malnutrition maximizer, because there's literally, I mean, there's nothing in it, 0 calories. This is just really to fill volume in your stomach. Not bad. Have a couple of these, like 3 of them for breakfast, and you're good. Crazy to think right now, as we speak, I'm losing weight, eating ice cream and jelly. There's no calories in it, but I'm burning calories talking to you. Think about that. We got a protein muffin, 200 calories, which practically at this point feels like a binge. I don't know if I should do it. I kind of feel bad. I want to fit through that tree. Nailed it. Just a chubby boy in Korea enjoying a muffin.
Content creator Daniel O, who uses psychology, philosophy, and his cross-cultural perspectives to help women build self-love.
So am I considered kind of
That's
like
cool.
chubby in Korea?
Not chubby, you would just be considered like a buff dude. If you look at the vast majority of like idols, for example, they're really skinny. I even have a friend who was...
Yeah, I was going to say that when you look at a lot of the singers and stuff, a lot of them seem very, very slim. And I know for the most part, like, when you have like a lot of K-pop singers and stuff, they do a lot of dancing. You know, dancers, man, they burn so many calories. A lot of them are in great shape. But you know, it's one thing to be in great shape versus being unhealthy. You know, remember I told y'all and the whole Hollywood thing about being skinny and it just looks unhealthy. There is a difference. So you're talking about people who are like, we're looking at a video of it's unhealthy to be fat, but I feel also it's unhealthy to be too skinny. You know what I mean? So the balance, but again, him being considered chubby is wild, man.
Idol trainee, but he started working out and he wasn't even like bodybuilder big. Like he was probably around my size, and they were like, you can't be an idol anymore because you're too big.
Wow.
So they actually dropped him from the trainee program because they were like, you're gonna be too big compared to everybody else on stage.
What is the ideal male and female physique?
I think for men, it's the same anywhere in the world. You gotta be tall, right? So if you're 180 and above, that's like you're considered handsome because you got that going for you. Yeah, so Will definitely would be considered a handsome guy in Korea. But actually, I could use just Will as an example of like why you would be considered a handsome guy by Korean standards.
Okay.
Yeah, so you also have what's considered like a small face.
Okay.
So in Korean society, when people say you're beautiful or you're handsome for men or women, one of the things they'll comment on is like, wow, you have such a small face. Basically what it means is like, if you look at the proportion of your face to the rest of your body, like it looks smaller, right? And so that's what people mean by having a small face. It has a lot to do with proportions.
Okay.
And of course you have like a very defined jawline. So I think in that regard, it's not too different from what the standard would be for men anywhere you go in the world, right? And then for women, this is like super stringent standards. There is like a specific angle of like your forehead to your nose, and then an angle of like your nose to this part of your face right here.
Wow.
And so like those angles are all like measured according to like what's called the golden ratio or the Fibonacci sequence. If you are, I think, over 60, I would say like 4 kilograms, you're considered like chubby for a,
64 kilograms.
yeah, for a Korean
140 pounds? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Dang. That is crazy. 140. So it's all coming together. It all makes sense. While you see some people like ultra slim, man. I told y'all when I go shopping for clothes, it's very difficult, man. I'm like extra small for a man.
Regardless of the height.
Yeah, regardless of the height too. Yeah, it's tough because nowadays Korean women, like, they are also conscious of like their breast size, but because like naturally Korean women just don't have a lot of like subcutaneous fat, it's hard to get that naturally. So one of the most common procedures that women will get is like breast implants, right? And it's like, again, sometimes you can kind of tell because it's like you have a very skinny woman, but her like breasts are large, and it's kind of like, well, how do you get that? That's kind of like, I would say, the most toxic aspect of the beauty standard that Korea is known for.
As soon as we started walking, we were flooded with more zero-calorie stores on every corner, plastic surgery ads everywhere, and impossible beauty standards at every turn.
These are the kinds of signs that you see in front of every single gym. Like, talk about a transformation. Like, I don't think I've ever related so hard to a before side of a transformation in my life. Like, when I see this, I don't see motivation or inspiration, I just see pressure.
So these ads on the wall,
Yeah.
this is not possible to be attained naturally.
You can get it naturally, but there are some markers that show that it is plastic surgery. So for example, this like angle from forehead to nose bridge is kind of what I was talking about earlier, of like that ideal angle that like women want. And then this like pointed nose and this angle from like here to here, again, more often than not, you actually need an implant to get that pointy nose, because it's very rare to see that like just naturally through genetics.
And then the husky blue eyes.
Yeah, so the lenses, now it's to the point where like a lot of women will feel self-conscious going out and not wearing lenses because it's just become so, you know, commonplace.
So like, would you say anime has a big impact on the style and how people look?
I think it has a lot more to do with Korea is such a trend-driven country. So if they see like, oh, you know, this influencer that I follow on social media started wearing colored lenses,
Then
like
everyone
I
does
want to
it.
do that too. Yeah, and then like
And there you have it. Trend driven. That's how it is in LA. You know, you see these and see, that's the whole point of me wanting to see this video. Is it like, what is the inspiration? Why? And they see these influencers. And again, we know that a lot of these influencers be using filters. A lot of them are paid to do things or act like they're doing things. You know, it's really, really crazy, man. It all boils down to trying to look like somebody versus being yourself. Damn.
trends just move so fast.
So we're walking by a bunch of these markets and the clothing is so small, it's insane.
On this tag over here, it says F, which stands for free. So free size is basically the idea that like It's like stretchable, so if you're a Korean person, you should be able to
It's
fit.
like one size fits all.
Yeah, but as you can see here, it's not a very friendly size for a lot of foreigners, right?
I feel like I'm at a pet store shopping for my dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like in the States, I'd see this at like the children's place.
Yeah.
You know, but
What
like,
the? I think that if I went into a store and asked for my size, they would just hand me a salad or something. Like that is
Damn.
great. I don't even think my quad could fit in that.
yeah, I think that's actually, you're right. Yeah, that's like the size of one of your quads.
That's literally my quad. I have a mini schnauzer at home. This would fit him, I think.
But we wanted to see if the men's clothes had more realistic sizes.
So I kind of want Will to try this one because it says here OF, which stands for overfit. And it's the idea that like it's a baggier fit. So
Yeah, I don't know, man. I literally cannot fit my head through it.
there is a
Wow.
button if you want to unbutton that thing there and see if you could pull it through.
There we go. Oh. I mean, I can get it on.
Like if a Korean dude was wearing it, it's supposed to be very loose. But now you just look like a private school.
Yeah, the private school boy.
That's supposed to be like a baggier fit, I believe. But you make it look like a regular fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only had to fly halfway across the world for my calves to feel above average. But the fact that this is oversized, I kind of feel fat.
Dieting alone can't always get you the body that you want, which is why Korea is packed with beauty clinics promising to speed up the process.
Hi, we just want to see like if you have like a menu of different like fat loss options. Lipolysis injection. So these are kind of like the fat melting injections that I talked about.
Okay.
So they got like stuff for double chin over here, contouring for the face, and it's 99,001 for a session. So that would be like around, right now with the exchange rate, maybe
$90?
No, not even. Like
even?
maybe like $70. So this is like specifically targeting arms, thighs, abdomen. It's like very popular because again, it's like it's hard to actually do the work of like eating properly, moving properly, right? But it's like why do all that when you can just melt it off?
Yeah,
with
and
a
like
shot?
the proportions that are like people want to see are literally impossible to get. So you have to do it this way.
That's right, because you can't target fat loss through natural means, right?
You guys want to see the ampoules, right? This is the violet injection, one of the most famous fat melting injection in the world. It actually kills the fat tissue.
Are some of the people coming in pretty young asking for this stuff?
Yeah, sometimes, but usually 40 to 50.
Would you ever have any like thinner people come in requesting stuff like this?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
But I try to tell him to do another thing, like more smooth way. This is kind of aggressive way to reduce fat.
So what do you think of Korea's body image culture?
Unimportant. Actually, I like it because I get money from those kind of culture, but
There it is. I was trying to see what he was going to say to that. That's how they make their money. You know, you promote it, people do it, you get paid. Hey, just like that other video, yeah, from Wani. Yep. It's all coming together, man. Sheesh.
I don't think that is that super dangerous thing because, you know, cultures from the America or the Europe, they are really damaging their health. Ideal culture must be between the European style and Asian style.
What's your opinions on Korean beauty standards?
Yeah, so I'm French. You know, I feel it's much more standardized in Korea. So yeah.
Yeah. When you moved here, did you look a lot different than you do now?
So when I moved here, I was overweight basically. There was kind of a pressure myself to fit in. Like in France or in Europe, you will never have, how to say, kind of negative remarks. But in Korea, they'll be like, that's why you're fat or something.
Also, they're a lot more like forward here.
Yeah, exactly. Which, to be honest, is not that bad. Once I've lost weight, it's like much more direct. Also on the other way.
If I did gain a little bit, people would make a comment straight away and say like, oh, you gained some weight. And the whole reason to make that comment is like, I noticed you, or like I care about you. And so you're supposed to feel good. Like you're supposed to be like, oh, she noticed and like she really cares about me and she thinks I should lose weight for my health.
Are Koreans a lot more direct with how you look? Because I feel like in North America, if someone gained weight, you wouldn't really say it, but maybe you just like think it. So here they actually would just tell you straight to your face.
Straight to your face. Even like when I meet up with my friends and I haven't seen them in a while, if like my skin is looking worse, they'll be like,
They'll
oh,
just tell you.
yeah, you just got some, looks like you got some trouble on your face. If I look a little bit bigger, like the first thing they'll be like, oh my God, your face looks a little bigger than the last time I saw you. You look like you gained some weight. Or like vice versa, you look like you lost weight.
Do you like how forward people are in Korea, or what do you think about that?
솔직히 말하자면 조금 처음 보는 사이에서도 약간 무리하게 이쁘다 아니면 뭐 코가 만약에 크면은 뭐 코가 크다든지 이런 식으로 좀 중심적으로 외모에 대해서는 말하는 게 있어서 그게
Damn.
좀 저는 좀 무례한 것 같다고 생각하고.
Could you ask her to tell me like the first thing she thinks about when she sees me, and to not worry, I won't get offended?
이제 솔직히 말씀해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
처음에는 일단 키가 큰 게 눈에 띄었고요.
혹시 전체적인 체중에 대해서 그런 거는 눈에 띄는 건 없었어요?
체중? 네. 그런 건 눈에 띄었던 것 같아요. 몸이 좋은.
If we were longtime friends and you saw me for the first time, like what would you have to say to me?
There's a golden proportion of your face I learned recently. It's like 1, 1, and 0.8. So maybe your like bottom is a bit long, like this part.
My bottom's a bit long. That's it.
And like you could get some facial for your skin.
Is it hard being a girl in Korea?
I think so. There's many things that girls need to do to upkeep their appearances.
시선 같은 게 좀 여자들이 좀 뚱뚱하면은 뒤에서 말 나오는 것도 있고 몇 번 들리는 말도 있으니까 그런 것 때문에 더 신경이 쓰이는 것 같아요.
We've been walking around looking for interviews, but we were getting no luck with.
Okay, so from that, exchange with those two women, what I've gathered is, for me, it's about the delivery. If this is your friend, someone who cares about you, it's not what they're saying, it's how they're saying it. And the girl was saying, like, some people can be rude in their delivery because they're so direct. But, like, I guess if you're out there, it's something that people get used to, But damn, it just makes you wonder, like, if someone lives out here, what are they saying? Because if they live out here, if they don't actually live in Korea and they live out here, but I don't know how often they go back and forth, what are they saying out here? Like, do they still have to keep up with that if they're out here? If they move, they live out here, but they want to visit there every now and then? Sheesh, man.
Girls, because they're all just like, they don't have makeup on, their hair's not done, their outfit's not good. So most of them are rejecting us right now. It's like they want to do it, but they just don't feel confident enough to be on camera right now.
Actually, the person we just asked, she does have makeup on, and she still didn't want to do it because she wasn't confident. In the
She needs
makeup.
more makeup on. So we've been asking girls to do interviews, and a lot of them are just like, oh, I have no makeup on, I can't. Like, is that very just common?
Oh yeah, if
Okay.
you like leave the house without makeup on, then mostly you'd wear a cap or like a mask to cover your face.
When looking for like a girlfriend, like what kind of traits are you attracted to?
일단 외적으로 봤을 때는 저는 약간 좀 눈이 크고 좀 예쁜 헤어스타일이 있는 사람을 좀 좋아하는 것 같아요. 그리고 약간 내적으로 봤을 때는 뭔가 자기 일에 집중하고 뭐랄까 본인의 일을 할 때 좀 행복해하는 사람을 좀 바라는 것 같아요.
What's the main reason, in your opinion, as to why a lot of people in Korea are so skinny?
근데 그게 조금 사람들이 보기에 건강해 보일 수도 있다고 생각을 하고 또 뚱뚱하면 좀 건강하지 않다는 생각을 가지고 있는 것도 같기도 해요. 또 이게 사람들의 생각으로는 이 신체 그러니까 이 체중을 빼는 것은 좀 자기 노력으로 되는 부분이라고 생각을 하기 때문에 좀 스키니한 몸매를 좀 더 이상적으로 보지 않나 이렇게 생각해요.
How do you think Korean people look at fat people in the street?
Mostly that they don't care about themselves and they don't care about their family too, because a lot of the family members usually, as I mentioned, if you gain a bit of weight, you would say something. So
Okay.
it's kind of like you didn't care about what your family said, or your
Damn.
family are not pointing out that you're unhealthy.
Would you associate skinny with being healthy?
To a certain point, I think it can contribute to like better health because I think having more weight on you can really hurt your knees a lot and your joints. That's one of my problem that my parents have. So I think that kind of weight really, if they didn't have it, I think they'd be feeling a lot better and they'd be a lot healthier for sure.
So would you rather be skinny or healthy?
I think be healthy. I think some of them kind of overlap in some extent.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
a
think
great
being healthy is
question.
more important, and just living like a long and happy life is more important.
Do you think an overweight foreigner coming to visit Korea would have a negative experience?
Sadly, I've heard that a lot. Shopping is difficult too, and when you go shopping, the shop owners will clearly say to you like, "Oh, yeah, there's no clothes for you." Like the reaction is very obvious, and I think they feel a bit left out sometimes.
Are there any extremes that people do to like look a certain way here?
I mean, I think the most extreme one, or the most obvious one, is like plastic surgery. But I know there's like, especially with the women, they go on like really crazy diets. Back like 10 years ago, there's this one K-pop idol called IU. I don't know if you know her.
No.
But one of her diets went like infamous because like all she ate for the day was like one sweet potato, like one apple, and like ice cubes or something. So she'd have like 200, 300 calories for the day, and that like she lost like 10, 15 kilos in like 2 weeks or something, or a month or something.
And then a lot of people follow that, right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of women tend to follow that kind of thing. So yeah, it's definitely very severe.
K-pop starvation diets don't just stay in the industry. They reshape how people everywhere see food and body image. When extreme restriction is framed as discipline and constant hunger starts to feel like progress instead of a warning sign, that mindset spreads fast, with people normalizing undereating and fearing calories just to chase an unrealistic look, like calling 130 calories a meal or using formulas like height minus 120 as a body weight goal. So I spoke with a K-pop singer who had to stay anonymous to avoid backlash about what that pressure actually feels like behind the scenes.
Do you think there's a lot of pressure on you to be skinny?
Yes, for my fans.
Is that good?
I don't think so, but my fans need like that.
Korea ranks very high on rates.
Yeah.
Why do you think that would be?
Idol culture.
Idol culture.
Yes. They need skinny shape and pretty face.
So this rates being so high, you think are related to the K-pop culture?
Yeah, I think so.
So the girl back in the cafe said that she needs to be skinny for her fans. Does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I would imagine that like a lot of her success is gonna depend on her followers and fans hyping her up, sharing her music, and just continuing to engage with her content. But if she were to gain weight, then they're just gonna like lose all interest in her because
regardless of talent?
Oh yeah, regardless of talent, because it's just kind of like, no matter how talented you are, it's not like I couldn't find 15 other people who are equally as talented as you. So if you wanna make it, you have to be talented and you gotta be beautiful. And you gotta be a great dancer, rapper, like that's the industry.
So we found a place for lunch called Preppers, which it kind of sounds like contest prep, like you're prepping for something. And then the funny thing is, it says Preppers diet food, not healthy food, because I feel like healthy food wouldn't be as much of a draw to go in. Like diet just sounds like more like weight loss, right?
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. That would be my guess too. And yeah, I think it is for like weightlifters, and I see more and more popping up all over the place.
So a bunch of pasta bowls, rice bowls. You recommend the double bowl?
Yes, for me, only the double bowl gives me enough protein. Combo comes with a drink. For example, amino drink over here.
Oh, you
I
get
think,
amino
yeah,
drinks.
that's one of their things that they're known for. I have yet to try it, but I heard it's pretty good. So, and then they got like protein milkshakes and stuff.
Protein coffee milkshake, that sounds amazing. Like places like this in North America like don't show up. And I feel like that's because there's like, they don't think there'd be enough traction.
Right, right.
So I feel like there's obviously a lot of traction and like demand for this.
Yeah. Like for me, when I first came to Korea, they didn't have shops like this. So I missed like Chipotle or like Kava, because you could get pretty good macros for those, even though they have like high sodium. But you know, now they got stuff like this.
It's not every day you see a fountain drink station where it's only the zero sugar stuff. I feel like Coke Zero is water here. And I respect that. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
When a place has Sprite Zero, you just know it's gonna slap. Because this is a rarity. Like this is a rare
Really?
find. Most places have Coke Zero. Sprite Zero? You don't know how lucky you got it, man.
Wow, it's everywhere here in Korea, so I just assumed that it was, wow.
And also the fact that this place is 24 hours is insane.
Yeah,
24
that's crazy. I love
hours?
that, yeah.
Oh, I wanted to get the pasta bowl, but I feel like if I ordered that, I would have got bullied or something. It seems like a trap. Like who gets the pasta in Korea? All right, here we go.
You wanna make sure you mix it all up nice. Ooh, that's a big boy bite.
So good.
Good?
Nice. I like that it's a reflective plate. You know, so you get to the bottom of the plate, and you can see your skinnier reflection when you're done. What would you say is like a big factor in Korea's low obesity rate? Would you say it's all lifestyle, or is there any like genetic components to that?
So I think one of the things that people don't know is that in addition to the social pressure that there is to stay thin and stay healthy, East Asians have a way lower subcutaneous fat cell count than our Western counterparts. And this is quite common in Korea. Well, you'll see like those skinny fat body types, right? Well, you'll see men or women that don't look that fat, but they have really high visceral fat levels just because there's not a lot of subcutaneous fat that can hold it. So they won't look as big, but they'll still have heart issues, diabetes, prediabetes, insulin resistance, like all across the board. So it doesn't take that much size for a Korean person to be equally as unhealthy as like you know, a European-based or, yeah.
Okay. How many calories would you say this bowl is?
If I had to guess, I would put it around 600?
Okay, I was gonna be like around 700. Have you heard of Macro Factor?
I haven't.
It's the quickest and easiest way to track your calories.
Okay.
And if you don't have a place that has the calories on the like, in your bowl, take a photo, and it gets pretty close.
That'd be awesome.
So, boom, uploading. So it even says the rice, steak, scallions, sesame seeds. Right, so 775 calories in the plate.
wild.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. So I mean, it tells you all the macros, and you just log it to your.
Dude, that's nuts.
Yeah.
There's also a new feature where you can upload a recipe including ingredients, instructions, and servings, all with just a snap of a picture.
So if you guys want to try the Macro Factor app, make sure to use code WILL for 2 weeks free. We are now in Cheongno, which is known as the obesity drug mecca of the world.
Here we go.
Literally every single building is a pharmacy just selling fat loss drugs. It's actually pretty insane. So there's a pharmacy right here, and then there's a pharmacy right here, and then literally like 5 more feet, there's another pharmacy right here, and then next door is another pharmacy, and then across the street, there's more pharmacies over there, which is like, I don't know why you need this many pharmacies. I guess the demand is super, super high. So we are gonna see how easy it is for me to go to a clinic, get a prescription, and get some Wegovy. Let's see. That's it here?
Here.
Oh shit.
Wow.
It might be busy.
Yes.
Wow.
네, 이 외국인 친구인데요. 그 마운자로나 위고비 처방을 받고 싶어서. What's the name that you use in Korean?
Will.
Will.
I just walked in, said my name, gave my ID, and it's good.
Do you have a preference of Wegovy or Mounjaro?
What does he recommend?
어떤 거를 추천해 주실 수 있을까요? He said then you would have to get a consultation with the doctor.
So I have to see him here right now?
Right now.
Is it long wait?
I don't think it's gonna take that long.
Okay. We're in the waiting room right now for the weight loss drugs. Everyone in here is also here for the same thing. People are just coming in, asking for it, and they're like, yeah, just take a seat, eat with the doctor, and you're good.
That is wild.
We're gonna have a prescription in like 15 minutes, which is crazy here. Okay. Here we go.
You know, I didn't really hear him talk too much about like the gym, you know, because I'm wondering how many people are actually walking around, because the guy he's with has some definition. You can tell he works out, but I'm wondering how many people do, or is it just strictly like walking, cardio? Because I told you when we were in Italy, I didn't really see any gyms, but we were walking around over 20,000 steps a day. You know, I went out there for like a whole month and I came back so slim, but I had lost all my definition because I didn't touch no weights. I was just slim, just damn near look frail a little bit.
Yes, first time.
How about your height?
6 foot.
How about your weight?
Around
Kilogram.
90. 90, yeah.
What is your current normal body weight?
I just want to get shredded.
After I gave the doctor my height, weight, and goal, he implemented my stats into a BMI chart and called me obese.
In this presentation, you will have some obesity. Your BMI index is 24.47.
And he kept adding lower weights until it put me in the normal category.
If you have some weight loss about 15 kilogram, you will enter to the normal body weight.
And I'll be healthier?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
The doctor is telling me I have to lose 15 kilograms or 33 pounds without any sort of background knowledge of my medical history or even my body composition, as fat and muscle ratios greatly impact your BMI score, and these lax measures are causing serious harm. And just like that, within a matter of minutes, I got a prescription, adding to Korea's major drug misuse problem.
Oh, she's asking if you want to get the injection here right now.
No, I'll do it later. Yeah. All right, so this is pretty insane. We got it super easily within like 10 minutes. And there it is. So the doctor said I need to get to 75 kilograms, which now that I'm thinking about it, that's below my bodybuilding contest weight. So I think I would actually die.
Yeah, you'd be like 168 pounds.
Yeah.
That's how much I weigh, and I'm 5'8".
Gee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't look at like
your body fat percentage. They just go like, okay, height, weight, you're obese. And then there's no other discussion about like, do you work out consistently? There's, here you go, $150.
Yeah, I don't think he even asked you any questions about your overall health.
No.
Yeah, there was like no diagnosis. He was just like, oh, you want the drug? Like, okay, here's how to use it. You know, here are some side effects to expect. And I think they even offered to give you your first injection like right now.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
But I'm not gonna do that. No, I just got it for a prop. I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it.
It's clear Korea is facing a serious issue that can't be ignored. The relentless pressure to look a certain way, combined with the deeply ingrained culture of body shaming, is quietly taking a toll on people's lives. Over time, it doesn't just affect how you see yourself, it consumes your thoughts entirely. And eventually, you give in.
Yo, that was a very, very informative video. My mind is just tripping out how like, so to them being skinny is healthy. And like, there's no middle. Now, when I met my wife, I was 180 pounds. And I'm 6'5", y'all. That's how tall I am. 6'5", 180. I pretty much look like an NBA player. You know, if you, for instance, if you guys watch basketball, like somebody like the dude you got, Shea, Gilgeous Alexander, you know, that plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's like 6'6", 190. And, you know, he's considered to be, like, when he plays and stuff, you know, they say, oh, you know, Shea's, you know, pretty strong and stuff like that. And he's slim, very slim. Now I weigh like almost 250. Still the same height, but I'm 250. I feel like when I was at my healthiest, I was around like 220. Just lean, almost like the look of an NFL wide receiver versus a basketball player. You know, that's the look where I felt my healthiest. It's just with injuries, it's been very hard to get back to that. But this is a whole nother level, man. It's a whole nother level because of how much pressure is involved and how people talk and how direct they are. Like I said, it's all about how. And, you know, of course, he didn't have any kids in this video, but you got to think, like, because out here you see a lot of kids who are considered obese. You know, they're young, but I mean, I feel like most of the times when you're born, you know, a lot of babies, you have that little, oh, look at the chubby jaws. And then as you become like a toddler, you know, if your parents are tall, you know, you're going to end up stretching out. But then you have some kids who, you be like, hold on now. Like, because for the most part, some kids will be playing outside in some type of sports or something like that. But you can see when you see some kids that need some like attention, like, yo, you might want to slow down on what you are giving them, because as they get older, it's going to get harder. And sure enough, when you see those people who be on those shows weighing over 600 pounds, and again, this was a tough video, man. Boy, because I feel like there's a fine line, you know, of being unhealthy, being so small that you're unhealthy. But again, the original video is in the description. Appreciate you guys coming over and watching. Peace out.